When I want to catch Ogene for soke, Ogene some salty, he give me your Obama. Oh yeah, the girl, something like that. That's how it goes, yeah? If you don't know what I'm talking about, when you see me after this lockdown, you kneel down if I get on your 2 minutes like this, nail it. If I, man, you prostrated. If you don't know it, but you would know it. We are hot. I just have to remind. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Agesse. I said, oh, let me go on Twitter because on Twitter they are always angry. Somebody, somewhere, always offends citizens of Twitter. So I'm like, let me just go on Twitter and see what they're angry this night. And then I go on Twitter and voila, there's anger always. Hunger everywhere, hungry people. So I went there and then I just like jumped on the conversation they were having. So the lowdown is this. This man sends his son to an very expensive school. Not very expensive, but like an expensive school. I'll check how much again. And then the boy comes home and he fails. Like, when I say fail, I mean he legit fails. He fails. There's no other way to put the failure. He failed it. Like, okay, let me just go straight in. The result was so bad. Yeah, I'm trying to explain how bad the result was. The result was so bad. In English language, he was absent. In civic education, it was unsatisfactory. CRE, that's Christian religious education, it was unsatisfactory. He did have a credit in geography. In mathematics, he was absent. In biology, it was satisfactory. In science, it was unsatisfactory. And in music, he got a distinction. But $1,680 is what the father pays for this certificate that he brought home. Father, like, I think he legit comes back from work and then he's pissed and then starts. I didn't watch the video to the end, guys. I don't know how much of an extent he beat the guy at the first time I watched it, but there was a lot of slapping, a lot of hitting, yeah, when he was talking. The result is bad. The result is terrible, and for the amount of money that the father pays, that result is unacceptable. I'll read a few of the tweets as I go on. So, why did the father wait to be shocked by his son's report card? Did he not check his homework and test? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be picking the tweets one by one of the ones that I see, and then I'm just going to be reading them and then giving my own thoughts. Before I go on, yeah, I want us to balance the fact that the child did poorly, yeah, for that amount of money. That was a terrible result to bring home to your father, to be honest. That was a terrible result, yeah. Now, my point, or what I'm trying to make here is the father justified in beating the son, yeah, for that result? Is there a justification for that result? Like, you brought home this result, terrible as it is, flogging is what you're going to receive, yeah. So I will tell you what I think as I go on, or as I read the tweets. You probably get my own point of view. But why did the father wait to be shocked by his son's report card? Did he not check his homework and tests? What about extra classes for the subjects he's struggling with? What about parent-teacher meetings? Definitely wouldn't be caught so offside if he was paying attention. And I want to dwell on this tweet a bit because I see reason with what this person is saying. So yes, you do pay a lot of money for your child's school, yeah, and yes, you do work. I don't know how many hours, so I can't even begin to say he should focus on the child's report card and all of that, because I don't know how many hours in a day he works and the total of that in a week and then in a month, which is probably why he's paying a lot for his child's education. Do you understand? But even at that, there's a checking up on your child. There's a wanting to know how your child is doing academically. Yeah, fine. He probably may not be able to check like homework every day. Do you get, like, because we cannot say the time that the father is getting home anyway. but there's a place of checking up on your child and checking up on what your child is doing. So if you are checking up on what your child is doing, you will not be shocked when he gets that kind of result, because there's a pattern. There's also parent-teacher assist PTA meetings that they do. Yeah, do you go for PTA meetings? Have you met your son's teacher? Have you had a discussion with your son's teacher? I know that some schools now have like WhatsApp groups, and then the parents are, so if your child is like in JS1, for example, I'm not talking about public school, please. And this story that I'm saying now, shall we hear the price that I called? I said $21,000, please. I'm not talking about public school. It's not part of the time I'm talking here. So, if for example you're in junior secondary school, all the parents are in a WhatsApp group, so they give you information on what's happening next, what the school is doing next, and all of that. So you know what's happening per time with your child. So, are you on that WhatsApp group, sir? Are you paying attention to your child? Are you having conversations with your child? Have you had conversations with your child's teacher? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, so I do agree with that particular tweet. Another person said, I'm not saying this is right, but isn't this a normal thing in most African homes? Why is everyone acting surprised? Such treatment actually made some of us become more serious with our studies. They're saying that isn't a normal thing in most African homes. Yes, it is a thing in most African homes, but does that make it right? It doesn't. It doesn't make it right that flogging and beating is the solution to everything that happens to a child. Yeah, there are other ways to train your child without actually spanking or without actually hitting. There are other ways. There are maybe million stretching too far, but there's a whole lot of ways that you can train your child without stick and cane. Think about it. Half of the times that you were beaten when you were growing up, yeah, did you ever ask yourself, so why are they flogging me now? You see, because half of the time we didn't know why we were being beaten. And after a while, when you grow, the cane doesn't do anything. If you watch this video, the man was hitting the child and was going like this. He was just doing like this. Because I'm sure that he has beaten the child to a certain point that the guy is like, just do, and we go. And that's how some of us were. After a while, we started to do a day shift for our parents. So they're flogging you, dusting, or day shift. Do you get? Because of the fact that it was not working. It wasn't. And I know some of you are saying I turned out right. But did you really actually turn out right? Think about it. Academically speaking, yeah, you can say that, okay, I turned that right, but you know book. But in other places, did you really turn out right? Yeah, did you turn out fine? If you think about your interpersonal skills, did you turn out okay? If you think about how you relate with people, did you turn out okay? If you think about your mood swings, did you turn out okay? If you think about your emotional state and your emotional well-being, did you turn out okay? If you think about how you're prone to anger so easily, did you turn out okay? If you think about, if you see violence, yeah, and then it doesn't move you, did you really turn out okay? So I'm not excusing, and please don't get me wrong, I'm not excusing discipline of any kind, please. I'm not excusing discipline. What I'm saying is, when it comes to the way African parents, Nigerian parents beat their children, is it really necessary? Do you feel like your parents could not have gotten to you in other ways? A woman, I can't remember her tweet, but she said that I can't find it. But let me just paraphrase. She said that one time her child came home from school and then she checked her child's results and her child failed. And she asked the child, why did you fail? What happened? Is there a problem? And then the child is like, no, nothing. She said, nothing. So you just choose to fail. No problem. She said she don't beat him. The next day they are going to school. She just give the child water and beans. Put water in the and put beans. Second day, water and beans. Third day, water. She goes upon pass me, no problem. And there's no issue. Fourth, water and beans. So there's one day that the child wanted to cry as she was putting the water and beans. If you cry, dear, you put the water and the beans. Toss me the head of the child. Be going. They said the next time that they will write anything like test or pass. You see, you didn't have to flog the child. Just sometimes it's even as easy as taking things that the child holds dearly, or taking things that the child holds important. For some people, it's food. You get. Some people is books. Some people is television. Some people is not going out with their friends or not hanging out with their friends. Some people is as simple as go to your room and I don't want to see you outside until you have an explanation as to why you did not pass or why you failed. And I would like to know that. I would like to hear that. Yeah. When I was going through this, all the tweets and all the mentions, yeah, it just showed me that, look, we always say that we don't want to be in our parents in certain aspect, but the way it's going, some of us will be our parents. Of course, please, there's no handbook. When you give birth to a child, they do not give you a handbook and say this is how to raise a child or this is how your child will turn out. Some of us turned out alright. Some of us don't turn out alright. Because even in my alright, Timo turned out me alright. I'm not saying that my mother did the best that she could at that time. And as I grow older, I begin to realize that was what she knew how to do at that time. She had never had a child before me. Do you understand? There was no handbook as to raising me. There was no handbook as how to raise me. So she took from her own experience, yeah, and then used it to raise me. Was it perfect or true? No. To give you point of example. My mother has this thing. We call it a flying saucer. My siblings know what I'm talking about. There's no way you stand. There's no way. My mother will hold plates. This is how she used to hold it. If she want to beat on you are running, when you are running away, she will not fight. She will not pursue you. She don't know how to run. She will not run. She will hold the plates like this. Sorry, anywhere that you are. If my mother do like this, the plate, it will catch you. I have one mark that even goes there in the back of my neck. It's plate that give me that mark. One day, I now think about that particular episode. See, plate, she yam like you. But I realized that I didn't deserve it. I did it because my mother will have just called me. Hello, Ace, come here. Yes, this thing. What happened to it? And because I fear my mother so much, you see, after God, rephrase that time. God don't have power. Where Yanome is concerned, Yanome is mightier in power. So when we are putting rating people on, Yanome is first, God is second. See, you can tell God will punish you. See, the punishment of Yanome is the beginning of wisdom. So when you are now saying that, she would have just called me the way, okay, this thing, I couldn't find it. Do you know where it is? And truthfully, I will have answered that. Because I fear that so much. I will have answered. But no! She said she wanted to flog me to get the answer out of me. And I still like me to run for my life. It's a lie. And Papa get me. She threw the plate. He cut me in the back. What am I trying to say? Some things do not deserve flogging and beating. Now, let's go back to this boy and his school fees and his fee. I cannot categorically say what the father should do because, to be honest, if I'm looking at it from the father's point of view, and I want to be a father for a mother for a few minutes, and I pay that much money for my son, and he comes back with that result, I am disappointed in him. I'm angry that I pay so much and I don't see results. I'm angry that my son does not think that the money that I pay is worth something. My son does not think that I deserve at least pass in the subject, and then bring it to me and say, Mommy, here, it will hurt that my son doesn't take the fact that my hard-earned money is going into his education seriously. It will really, really hurt. Is flogging him going to make him pass? No. Is hitting him going to make him go back to school the next term and do better? Maybe. Said, somebody called the father a failed parent, and I think that that's too harsh. That's too extreme. Hello. Is there a course on parenting? Is there? They go to 5 years university to learn how to be a parent? No. So calling him a failed parent because his child doesn't pass is you being hurtful. Yeah, you're not even helping the situation, because no, he's not a failed parent, and he's doing the much. See, a parent who pays $21,000 for your school fees, it wants the best for you. He really wants you to do well, because if he didn't, he would just put you in any school and be done with it. But he really wants you to do well. It's why he will put you in that school. Yeah. So saying that, calling him a failed parent because of that is a problem. So your natural inclination, yeah, for seeing that result as a parent, yeah, is to beat. It might be not everybody. Let me rephrase that. Your natural inclination might be to beat the child because of that result. But is it possible to take a step back away from all of that anger? Is it possible to not let rage be the first thing that every parent holds on to? Is it possible that anger is not the first emotion that a parent picks up when their child doesn't act right? Is that something that is possible for parents to do? Pick up something else, pick up another emotion apart from anger. For those who are saying that their parents beat them and that's why they turned out right, if your parents took another approach that wasn't with anger, do you think that you wouldn't still turn out right? Do you base your worth so much as a human being on the fact that you were beaten to a pulp? Do you base all of who you are and all that you can become and all that you have achieved right now, do you base that solely on the fact that you were beaten while growing up? The child is not behaving well plus flogging equals to great child. I'm not an advocate for that. I'm saying that there's certain things that can be done, other things that can be done that will not involve beating, flogging, physically punishing a child. That's just my argument, though. Did they beat me? Yes, so you can't even use that as me. That's why I'm talking what I'm saying. Were there instances where they were supposed to beat me and they did not beat me? Yeah. Do I remember those instances? Yeah. Yeah, I do. The same way I remember the ones where they beat me. Same one at the same time. I remember the ones where they didn't beat me. So, all in all, would I have preferred a childhood where I was not flogged? Yeah. Duh. I would have preferred a childhood where I wasn't flogged for every and anything, and where I could walk up to an adult and explain what I was going through, explain to somebody why I was so angry all the time, explain to somebody why I was behaving the way I was behaving, explain to somebody why it felt like I was failing. It's not like I didn't know book. I just didn't understand what teacher was saying as opposed to beating me. So that is all I came to say. That is all. Anyway, whichever side that you're on, yeah, let me know in the comment section. So if you're for Team Punch, let me know. If you're on Team Speak or something, it should be hashtag beat, hashtag don't beat. Anyway, whichever one that you're a fan of, or whichever one that you think is necessary in the build up or in the general upbringing of your child, please let me know in the comment section. Like I said before, there is no blueprint on how to raise a child. Every child is different. Every child is different. So shout out to all the parents out there. You guys are doing the best that you can with what you have, and my prayer is that your child sees that as they grow older, they see it. They see all that you tried to do for them. They see all that you put in, all the effort that you put in, even if when you didn't know what you were doing, you were just making sure that they came out right enough. Yeah. So I hope that they grow up and they see all the work that you put in for them. Shout out to all the parents. Shout out to all the intending parents. Shout out to we single people. I just had to put that in. Sorry. Because I mean, you have to be in a relationship with somebody and then marriage the person before you not even think of wait, you want to one side. You know, at least that's the table I'm on. So I'm sorry if that's not the table everybody's on, but that's the table I'm on. So shout out to us too. We're doing great. We're doing great. Alright, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. The subscribe button is just right down below. Please do that. Thank you so much. Please share the links to your friends, on your contact, on your social media platforms. Help us to sell our market. Yeah. So until I see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.